Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Tom Seaver, 1983 Statis Pro, the vintage version. Seaver's last game. This, I believe, is being played on the 22nd. Yeah, June 22nd, 1983. Where were you? Let's see. So Seaver, last game played the pitch against the Montreal Expos, and he got shut out 3-0 by the Expos. Seaver picked up the loss. He's 4-5. He went 7 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He's pretty much in line with his record and his ERA, and his stats are pretty close. And we continue on. Let's see what goes on here. He's facing the St. Louis Cardinals. It's going to be Herr leading off. Oberkfell, the third baseman. Van Slyke batting third, left field. Henrik, the first baseman, cleanup. Batting fifth is Darryl Porter, the catcher. Willie Mcgee, center field, batting sixth. Batting seventh, David Green, the right fielder. Ozzie Smith, the shortstop, and Bob Forsch pitching. And at Shea Stadium, New York, it's Bob Baylor, the third baseman. Danny Heap, the center fielder. Keith Hernandez, the first baseman. Batting cleanup is George Foster, the left fielder. Right fielder Strawberry batting fifth. Sixth is Junior Ortiz, the catcher. Seventh is second baseman Giles. Eighth is Jose Oquendo, the shortstop, and Tom Seaver batting ninth. Let's do it. This game's a little bit different. No dice. We're just pulling cards. Let's have some fun. Now let's cut the deck. There we go. See what happens. So Seaver's pitching to Tommy Herr. It's going to be 11. That's going to be off Herr's card, and a 65. That's going to be an out. He's an SN, and that is bounce to third. Let's see if third baseman Bob Baylor can. Oh, 3-10. Possible error, Baylor. And will he boot it? No, no errors at third base, so he makes the play. 5-3, 1 down. All right, let's write that in. I'm keeping my stats using Stratomatic. So every 3 or 4 innings, I input some data. All right, so 1 down. Kenny Oberkfell, he bats from the left side. Here's the pitch, 3. That's going to be off Seaver, and a 48 will be an out. He's an LN. That's popped up. Middle infield, second baseman Brian Giles. He's under it. 2 down. And Andy Van Slyke. That's a 6, that'll be off Seaver, and a 76, that'll be an out. LN again, it bounced right back to the mound. Seaver feels his position cleanly, and that's 3 up, 3 down for terrific. All right, so it's going to be the Mets coming up against Bob Forsch. Here's a pitch, that's a 5, that's off Forsch, and a 65, that'll be an RN out, nothing there. It's a fly ball, center field. Covering the ground is Mcgee for out number 1. Danny Heap, left-handed hitter. Pitch, that's off Forsch. 41, and that'll be an out, kind of an out. He's an LP, and it's bounced to second. Let's see if second baseman Giles can field it cleanly. And he does. No error. So it's 4-3. I'm sorry. Mets are batting, so it wasn't, obviously it's not Giles, it's Tommy Herr. All right, 2 out. And here's Keith Hernandez. That's going to be off Hernandez's card, and a 74. An LN. That's a little number in front of the plate. Out from behind the plate is Darryl Porter, and Darryl Porter makes the play. 3 up and 3 down. Now this game, sometimes this older vintage game has a tendency to give you a few too many ground outs to the catcher. Let's see how it goes in this game. We already had 1. It's the first inning. So, all right. So we're in the top of the second inning. No score. It's going to be Henrik, Porter, and Mcgee. Do it. Here's a pitch from Seaver. That's an 8. That's off Henrik, and an 88. Righty versus righty. So that's going to be an out. It's going to be a bouncer to the first baseman who fields it cleanly. That's Hernandez over there. 1 down. Darryl Porter's up next with a 5. That's off Seaver, and a 16. It's a strikeout. So Seaver gets him with the slider. And here's Willie Mcgee. an 8. That's off Mcgee. An 83. That'll be an out. He's an SN. And it's bounced to second base. Giles fields it cleanly, and that retires the side. 3 up and 3 down. Bottom of the second. George Foster leading it off. Pitch from Bob Forsch. That's defense, but there's nobody on. That's an 8, so that'll be on Foster's card. And the 77, that's a pop-up. Left side of the infield. Third baseman Obergefell makes the catch. Darryl Strawberry coming up. That's a 9. That's off Strawberry. A 37 will be a strikeout. So high fastball gets Strawberry, 2 down. And next up is Ortiz with a 66, and that'll be an RN, fly ball, center field. And that's Mcgee makes the catch, 3 up and 3 down. All right, so this is Junior Ortiz. Nope, Brian Giles is up. Pitch from Bob Forsch. That's a 6. That's going to be off Forsch, and a 78. That will be an out, an RN. Is a bounce to the third, fielded cleanly by Brooks for out. No, that should be, wait a second, that should have been David Green. David Green, I should be looking at David Green. And, yep, okay. So here is Ozzie Smith. Pitch from Seaver. That's a BD, but there's nobody on base. It's a 3. That's off Seaver. An 81 will be an out. SN, bounce to the third. And that is Baylor making the play. 2 down. Pitcher Forsch. Pitch from Seaver. 7. That's off Forsch. Blank. A 53. That's a strikeout. 10 the inning. 3 up and 3 down. So Seaver's retired 9 in a row. All right, Brian Giles leading off. Speedy, there's nobody on base. That's an 11. That'll be off Giles. A 72 is going to be an out. RN, it's a drive in the gap. After it is Mcgee, and he tracks it down. Turned on the Jets on that. Read it well right off the bat. Jose Oquendo with a 9. That's off Oquendo. 65. And that'll be an RN bouncer right back to Forsch. Forsch fields it cleanly over to first for out number 2. So both pitchers have not given up a base runner so far. Here's Seaver. That's a 10. That's off Seaver's car. And a 14. And that's going to be a drive in the gap. And that's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. Seaver around second, digging for third. The relay, the tag by the third baseman Obergefell, and Seaver's in there with a triple. Wow. Tom, terrific. Let's backtrack, make sure. We had a 10, which is off Seaver, and then we rolled a 14, which is going to be a triple. That's pretty nuts. So Seaver, that's the first hit given up by either pitcher. And Seaver's on at third base. Here in the bottom of the third, no score, and it's Bob Baylor. Let's roll for Bob Baylor. That's going to be a 9. That's going to be off Baylor. 67. RN, bounce to the first base, fielded potentially cleanly by the first baseman, Henrik. Let's see. He's a 2, and it's a 9 to 10, so there's no error. And that retires the side. So it's G3, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We move to the top of the 4th inning. And we do a quick shuffle. Some guys use 2 and 3 decks for this, or they just switch decks. They shuffle them beforehand. That's another easy, quick way to do it. All right, so it's going to be the top of the order. It's going to be Tommy Herr leading off. Here's a pitch from Seaver. It's an 11. That's off Herr. And a 72. That'll be an SN. Bounce to third. 1 away. Kenny Obergefell. He's 0 for 1. Popped up last time. That's a 10. That's Obergefell. 52. It's an LN. It's going to be ripped to short. Oh, 3 to 10. Shortstop. Oquendo, and he's going to boot it. He's going to boot it, and what kind of error will it be? Look over here, shortstop, error 2. Nobody on base, error 2 says wild throw to first, base runner A or B, and Obergefell is a base runner B. Takes second, So it's a wild throw past Hernandez at first, and going to second is Overfill. So it's going to be an E6, two base error on the shortstop Okendo, and here's Van Slyke. Here's a pitch, that's a 10. It's going to be off Van Slyke, and a 37 will be a strikeout. So Seaver reaches back for a little extra and strikes out Van Slyke. Now I didn't move the pitcher to reduction. Now I could do it behind the logic that there's a runner on base that puts extra stress on the pitcher. I know that from coaching basic baseball. So anytime there's a runner on, it's going to create stress. So I'm not sure what the rules say. I'm not really worried about it at this point. But it's going to be George Henrik. I'm more worried about George Henrik right here with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Here's a pitch. That's an 8. That's going to be off Henrik. And an 83 will be an out. Wow. Lined, ripped. And I don't give any errors on lineouts because it's highly unusual. It's either a hit or a catch. What I could do if it's an error, I'll give him a hit. So I could do that, and there's no error. So it's a line out to the third baseman, Bob Baylor, to retire the side. No runs, no hits. One left, the error, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. Bob Baylor leading it off. Oh, no, actually, he made the last out, so it's Danny Heap. All right, it's a 7. That's going to be off Heap, and a 75. That'll be a bounce to the second. 1 down. Forsh. Right-hander, an 11. It's going to be off Hernandez, and a 34 is a drive down the line into the right field corner, and Hernandez is going to try for 3. Here's a relay from second baseman Herr, tagged by Overfill, and he is safe with a 1-out triple. Keith Hernandez. I got that 34, and he had a triple right at 34. That is the triple number. Wow, interesting. All right, so Hernandez is at third, and that's the second triple allowed by Bob Forsh in this game. Pretty odd. Here's George Foster. Infield's going to be in. It's a 3. That's off Forsh. 15, and that's a bouncer up the middle and through. Base hit. The Mets have taken the lead 1-0. RBI single for Foster. So that's a run and another hit. And here comes Strawberry. That was off of 15 was off of the pitcher, so we don't have to check for an error. And this one's going to be again off Strawberry, and a 65 will be a walk, ball 4. So that pushes Foster to second base. He's in scoring position now. And Junior Ortiz coming up, so that's another subtraction. Here's a pitch to Ortiz. It's an 8. That's going to be off Ortiz. And it's going to be a 21, which is a line base hit center field. So let's see if okay, now there's a couple of things to do. First of all, we're going to check for an error. 5 to 10 an error. Let's check the center fielder. Center fielder is Mcgee. So there could be an error. There will not be an error. He's a T3. Our base runner, George Foster, is, you know what, we're just going to pull a card first, and it's a 62, so we're going to have to check stuff now. So he's going to try to score from second. There may be a play at the plate. He is a C, so second to home on a single, so he's a C, and a T3, 11 to 46. How many outs? 1 out. He's going to be thrown out. He's going to be thrown out at home. It's going to be 8 to 2, and it's a single for Ortiz. And Strawberry, let's see if Ortiz is a C. So it says here, when secondary advance, when a play is made on a runner, when a play is made on a runner, so there was, batters automatically take second base if they are base running A or B. So, so this is one tricky aspect of this, that it's a little bit unclear. Guys who play it a lot more than I do will probably know exactly what the rule is for this. So basically we're going to have runners on first and second. There was a play at the plate. I'll give Strawberry third base because he is an OBR of B, I believe. He is an A actually, so he will take the extra base. Ortiz, who's a catcher, and Slow will not. I will move this down one because there is another hit. All right, so there's a couple things to do and keep track of in this game. So now we got runners on first and third. There are 2 outs, and with 2 outs he would have been safe. So I should have really held him up, but it was just bad luck. I did roll high, or pull the high fac. All right, here's Brian Giles. Here's a pitch. That's a 5. That's off Forsh, and a 47 is an out. An RN will be a bounce to the short. Nice throw by Smith to retire the side. So the Mets pick up a run. They take the lead 1-0 on 3 hits. And we move to the top of the 5th inning. Yes, sirree. So at the top of the 5th, it's going to be Darryl Porter leading off against Seaver. Here's a pitch. It's a 7. That's going to be off Porter, 61. An LP, and that's a fly ball to shallow right field. Second baseman is out there, and he makes the catch. 1 down. Willie McGee's next. That's a 4. That's going to be off Seaver, and a 64. That'll be an out. An SN is, again, we're going to make this play to the pitcher. Pitcher picks it up and throws to first. No error. It was to the catcher, but we already had one of those. It's otherwise we're going to get too many. All right. Green now, a 6. That's going to be off Seaver, and a 57. That'll be an out. Green is an RN. That's bounced to first. Hernandez steps on the bag to retire the side. 3 up and 3 down. So Seaver continues to mystify the St. Louis batters. Okendo here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch from Forsh. It's a 9. That's going to be off Okendo, and a 35 will be a strikeout. Okendo K's. Forsh K's Okendo's. Tom Seaver now with a 6. That'll be off Forsh, and a 52. There'll be a pitcher out, which is a pop-up to the right side. First baseman Henrik makes the catch. Top of the order for the Mets here in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Mets. Bob Baylor with a 5. That'll be off Forsh, and a 68. RN. It's a comebacker to Forsh. Fields it cleanly and throws out Baylor, who's now 0 for 3. No runs, no hits. Top of the 6th inning, Ozzie Smith leading it off against Terrific. It's an 8. That's going to be off Smith, and a 43 will be an out. SN. It's a pop-up to the right side. First baseman Hernandez makes the play. Okay, so now it's the pitcher Forsh. You got a pitcher batting card with everybody here. That's an 8. That's going to be off Forsh, and a 22 will be a line drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. Forsh is going to get the first hit against Seaver here in the game in the 6th inning, and it's going to be a double for Forsh. It's off of Forsh's card, so we're going to pull to see if there's an error. There's no error. Seaver will lose 1. And that's the first hit of the game. So Seaver had a no-hitter through 5. And here's Tommy Herr. Well, remember, 1-0. So here's a pitch. And let's see Bob Forsh's speed. He's a D. All right, so here's a pitch. That's a 3. That's going to be off Seaver. And a 47 will be an out, kind of an out. SN, bounce to the 3rd. Fielded by Baylor. And runner on that G5, I believe he holds with the runner man on second. G5, runner holds. Yep. Makes sense. And here's Kenny Obergefell. Pitch from Terrific. That's an 8 off Obergefell. A 58 will be an LN, and that's ripped to short. Fielded by Okendo. Oh, and Okendo's going to boot it. Yikes, second error on Okendo, and it's going to be a 1. It's going to be a 1-base error with a runner on second base. Oh boy, all right. Ground ball through a fielder's legs, batter safe, runner to 3rd. Base runner A, runner to second on second scores if 2 men are out. And Forsh is not an A, he's a D, so he's going to have to hold up at 3rd. So now we got, that's an error on the shortstop. And stopping at third is Forsh. Another error on the shortstop. What do we say it was? It was an error 1. Error 1 basically says, yeah, ground ball through legs, batter safe. So the ball goes through Kendo's legs for his second error. And that puts runners on first and third. And who's coming up? Van Slyke. All right. Here's Andy Van Slyke. Here's the pitch. This is going to be off Van Slyke, and an 82 will be an out. LN. It is hit right back to the mound, and Seaver feels it. And the Mets stay in the lead. But the Cardinals pick up their first hit of the game. One nothing Mets. We go to the bottom of the inning. Kenny Forsh will be facing Danny Heap. And we're going to quickly, it's time. It's that time here in the bottom of the sixth. I'm running low on cards. This is a very silent game, very quiet game when you use these fast action cards. A nice little rhythm to this game. It's moving along. Once you get the, I've been playing this already for a couple, let's say about 6 weeks, so I'm getting the hang of it. It gets faster as you go. You get more comfortable with it. I've been getting good results. Pretty close. I mean, we'll look at it. We'll see what happens. All right, let's do it. Here's Danny Heap, pitch from Forsh. That's a 6. That's going to be off Forsh. 58. An LP, and that's bounced to short. Ozzie Smith feels it cleanly. 1 away. Here's Keith Hernandez, who tripled. It's no good. That's no good. It's an 8. That's off Hernandez, and a 53 will be a ball 4. So Hernandez walks. All right, and it's George Foster's up next with a 5. That's off Forsh, and a 16 is ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Hernandez will stop. Let's see his speed. Yeah, he will stop at second base. So first and a second. And Darryl Strawberry, pitch from to Darryl. That's going to be off Darryl with a 67, an LP, and that is it's ripped to short. A 4-10 error. Let's see what kind of error rating. Ozzie Smith's a 2, so he'll field it cleanly, and that's going to be a fielder's choice. 6-4. Oh, actually, it's an advance. It was, hold on, it was LP, and it says 6. Okay, it's just a ground ball in the hole, and both runners will advance on this. Because it tells you right there, it's 6. It says A, and that just simply means advance. X means they get 1, and then straight up G means they get double play usually. That was a walk to Hernandez. Let me make that clear. Okay, so we got second and third now, and it's Junior Ortiz. Ortiz singled, so he's 1 for 2. And here's a pitch. That's a 6. That's going to be off Forsh, and a 75 will be an out. RN. That's line and caught by the third baseman Overfeld to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left, the walk and the hit. We move to the top of the 7th inning. Henrik, Porter, and Mcgee against Tom Terrific. Trying to push Terrific until deeper into the game because I was pulling him out a little bit early and he's a little shy on innings. That's a 5. That's off Seaver, and a 65. That'll be an out. And it's a fly ball, center field. Danny Heap is out there for out number 1. Darryl Porter's next. 5. That's off Seaver, and a 36 will be a potential wild pitch, but there's nobody on base. Let's do it again. 10. That's off Porter, and a 35 will be a strikeout. So he gets Porter with a curveball. 2 out. Willie Mcgee. That's switch hitter. That's a 9. That's off Mcgee, and that's going to be a 32, which is a drive to left field down the line. It's a fair ball, and Mcgee with good speed is digging for second. He gets in there easily for a double. So the tying run, Mcgee was very fast. And let's see, can I steal third base right there? Well, there's 2 outs. There's no reason for that. He's in scoring position. So here's David Green. Here's a pitch from Seaver, 6. That's off Seaver in 11. Ooh, Green is a righty versus a righty. We're going to check on the Splitsville, and that's a strikeout. Big strikeout for Seaver to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And after 7, the Mets are up 1-0. Pretty good game. I'm pushing these. The reason I play these older seasons so I can push the pitchers and get them to complete games. But Seaver was already 37 years old by this point. He's got a lot of miles on that arm, boy. I'll tell you. All right, here's a pitcher. Here's a pitch to Brian Giles. It's a 4. That's off Forsh. And a 22 will be a walk. So Forsh walks. Okendo will bunt. What kind of bunter? He's a CC, and the number is 33. We look up here. That's a good number, 33, and that's going to be a batter out, 3rd to 1st. Runners advance, so it's a good sacrifice. And here's Tom Terrific with a runner in scoring position. So let's move that walk down. And I'll count those as I get closer. That's a 2. That's going to be off Forsh. And a 22 off Forsh is going to be a walk. So he walks Terrific. So he's losing it a little bit here. We're in the bottom of the 7th. There's 1st and 2nd, 1 out. And here's Bob Baylor. Here's a pitch, and that's a 6. That's off Forsh. And a 51 will be some sort of an out in RN. So pop-up in front of the mound, and that's the catcher. Takes charge. So Porter makes the catch. 2 down. And here's Danny Heat. Pitch from Forsh. That's an 8. That's going to be off Heat. And a 13. He's a lefty versus a righty. That's going to be a base hit to left field. We're going to try to score Giles. And a 16 will score him. So he scores. It's a single, and Seaver is not. Seaver's just going to hold up. He's a slow pitcher, so he's just going to hold up at second base. So our big RBI, insurance run by Danny Heat, drives in Brian Giles, who had walked. And that's going to be, he drives in number 7, 7th place batter, and that's 2 more. So let's count them up to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I started with 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. All right. So here's Keith Hernandez. So we got to slow down a second here and take a look at, see what we got going here. He's given up 3 walks and 2 singles in the last 2 innings. We're going to let him pitch to Hernandez. Bob Forsh. Here's a pitch. It's a 4. That is off Forsh. And 67. He'll get out of this. It's an LN. That's a pop-up. Catcher. Porter. Flips the mask away. Mets score 1 run on a couple of walks and a single. And they lead it by a score of 2-0. We go to the top of the 8th inning. It's going to be Ozzie Smith leading it off. And we're going to get a pinch hitter for the pitcher. So Ozzie Smith leads it off here against Tom Terrific. Here's a pitch, and it's a 7. That's going to be off Smith, and a 65 will be an out, and SN is going to be a bouncer to short, and Okendo makes the play this time. So here's Forsh, and it's time to pinch hit. All right, it's going to be Dane Org against Tom Seaver here with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. Alright, here's a pitch from Seaver. He's a lefty, by the way, the batter. 10's a 10. That's going to be off Org. And it's a 61, which will be an LN, which is a bouncer right back to the mound. Seaver's going to handle it cleanly. Oh, wait, he's 7. Ouch. And it is 7-10, so it's going to be an error. What kind of an error on the pitcher? It's an error 3 on the pitcher, which really means booted ball. Batter safe at first. So Org is a B, so he's got good speed, and he'll be at first base on an error on Seaver. E1. All right, so here's Tommy Herr, and you know what? We're going to try hit and run. He's a good hit and run guy. So let's pull a number. It's going to be a 66. He's a 2. 66 will say runner steals second. D or E holds. So org, 66 runner steals second D or E holes, and what do we say? He was a B, so he will steal second base. There he goes, the throw down from Ortiz, not in time. So first and second. And let's move this down because we did, oh, well, it was an error. Okay, so we're not going to work on, we're on that. That's an 8. That's going to be on Herr's card. And a 67 will be an SN. Let's see what kind of result. Bouncer to second base and handled by Giles. And moving to third is Org. 2 out. Runner on third. It's 2-0 Mets. They scored a run in the bottom of the 7th to make it 2-0. So here's Kenny Obergefell. It's a 5. That's going to be off Seaver. And an 18. It's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. Big K for Seaver. No runs, no hits, an error. And that's going to be the 3rd error by the Mets in this game, by the way. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Wow. So we're going to get a new pitcher now. All right, so it's going to be Jeff Lottie here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Going to face George Foster. Here's a pitch. He's a 2-7, by the way, and it's a 7, so it's off Lottie's card. A 14 is going to be lined to left field. It is a righty versus righty, but it is a hit because it's a 14. So Foster's on with a single. Frozen rope to left. Played on a hop by Van Slyke. So the Mets have their leadoff hitter, and that's the 3rd hit of the game for Foster, by the way. Here's Darryl Strawberry. Lottie loses 1, and that was off of Lottie's card. So we're going to check for an error. That's a 9. That's going to be off Strawberry in an 81 LP, and that will be a grounder to second base. This could be a potential double play if it's handled cleanly. 5-10 by second baseman Tommy Herr. Could be an error. Nope, no error. So it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. And we're going to just double check that runner on first, second base. Yep, 4-6-3 double play. So 2 outs. Strawberry hits into a tailor-made double play there, and it's Ortiz, pitch from Lottie. It's a 6. That's off Lottie. A 38 will be an out. RN's a fly ball right field. Right fielder, who's out there? David Green. He's under it, makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. This is last licks for the Cardinals. Top of the 9th. Seaver's got a 2-hitter going. Actually, it's a 2-hitter. A hit by Forsch in the 6th and a hit by Mcgee in the 7th. He's got 6 strikeouts, so he's pitching quite a performance by Seaver today. Let's see. Let's not speak too soon. He's still got to get through Van Slyke, Henrik, and Porter here in the top of the 9th inning at Shea. So crowd hasn't left yet. They're on their feet. See what happens. Here's terrific. That's a 10. That's going to be off Van Slyke. A 45 will be a strikeout. 7th strikeout of the game for Seaver. So 1 down. Here's George Henrik. It's 2-0 Mets, and it's a 4. That's going to be off Terrific, and a 27 will be ball 4. First walk of the game for Terrific, and that brings the tying run to the plate in Darryl Porter. So here's the pitch. That's a BD. Oh, that's clutch batting. His clutch batting number is 0, so let's see. A non-number, but an 81 is just going to force us to pull another card. An 11, that's off Porter, and a 58 will be a hit by pitch. Man, I don't remember if the rules asked me to pull a card to see if that hit by pitch is good. Let me just pull a card and see what it says. It says yes, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that puts the tying runs on base. So the ball barely skims him, but he leans into a pitch, an inside pitch by Seaver, and Porter is on it first. He's a D, so we're going to get a pinch runner for him because he is the tying run. Let's see somebody who's fast. Who can we grab real quick? Somebody who has some speed. Rayford, Braun, Quirkus, Santana. We got Santana. who was a future Met, but Rafael Santana, he's a B, so he will run. Santana will run for Porter. And I just put an X in the box. You'll see my scorecard at the end. All right, so here's Willie Mcgee. Willie Mcgee has one of the 2 hits against Seaver today. So here's Seaver. Seaver loses another one. Seaver first and second. 1 out, top of the 9th. Willie Mcgee, here's a pitch. That's an 8 off Mcgee, and a 38 will be, oh, that's a drive. And that's over the center fielder's head, and that's going to bounce off the wall. And that is not what we wanted to see, unfortunately. So we got an 8. That's going to be off Mcgee, and that's going to go 1 run scores, 2 runs scored. This game is tied, and to third base with a 2-run triple here in the 9th inning is Willie Mcgee. His second hit of the game. He's got a double and a triple. Drives in 2 here, and the game is tied at 2 apiece. That may be all for terrific. 4 and 5. So it picks up 2 RBIs. And Mcgee is pumped at third base. Here's going to be Green. We're going to bring the infield in. We're going to leave Seaver in. So that's 2 score and 1 hit. And that's an 8. Again, off Green. And that's going to be an 81. RN 81. And that's a ground ball to third. Will there be an error? Oh, 6-10 error. Baylor is at third. Baylor has no errors at third. So with the infield in and a runner at third, let's see what that's going to be on a G5 with the infield in. G5 infield in, defense option play. And that's up here. Defense option play. So who's at third? It's Mcgee. Mcgee is super fast, so he's an A. So OBR A is going to be safe on 11-48 and out on 51-88. So there's 1 out. He's going to try to score. I always try to score the 1 out. So here goes. We're going to look for that number. There's going to be a play at the plate, and he is out at, safe, 46, and it's 11-48. He is safe. Slides in under the tag, and that's going to be a fielder's choice. Green is going to be on at first. So another run comes in. And that was, I never checked for the error on Mcgee. Yeah, okay, no error. And all right, so runner on first, 1 out, 3-2. Seaver's given up 3 runs here in the top of the 9th, and I'm pushing him. Ozzie Smith is up. Here's the pitch. That's a 7. That's going to be off Smith, and a 76. That should be an out. An SN right back to the mound. Fielded cleanly by Seaver. Goes to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. Big double play turned by Seaver. Unless he's an A, so he beats it out at first. All right, so it's going to be a 1-6 fielder's choice. And that puts Smith at first, and he's going to run. There he goes. And an 84. He is base stealer of A. 84. Cannot get jump. Runner cannot get jump. Continue. Okay. Here's a pitch from Seaver to... Oh, wait a second. We need another pinch hitter. All right, Steve Braun is going to hit against Seaver. And we are going to quickly mix these up. The score is 3-2 now. Seaver's given up 3 runs here in the top of the 9th. He's only given up 3 hits in the whole game. And hasn't, I mean, it's been an easy game for him. But he's struggled a little bit here. He walked 1 and then he hit the next batter. And then, of course, the triple by Mcgee. But that's it. So we're still going with Seaver here. He wants to stay in, so we're going to let him in. Here's the pitch to Braun. That's an 8. That's a Braun hit. 73, and he swings and drives it. And that's going to be to short. Play made by Okendo to end the inning. But 3 runs come in on 1 big hit by Willie Mcgee, the 2-run triple. And of course there was that fielder's choice where Mcgee used his speed and slid under the tag. And it's 3-2 now. 3-2 Cards here in the bottom of the 9th. It's going to be the bottom of the order. Giles, Okendo, and Seaver. So we'll probably see a pinch hitter for Seaver. And we get a new pitcher Who's it going to be? Who are we going to call? So let's get a pinch hitter. It's going to be Braun. And what did Braun do? He grounded out short. Alright, we're going to get a new pitcher, and it's going to be Bruce Sutter. So Bruce Sutter's a new pitcher. Let's grab him quickly. You get most of the players with this set, so that's a good thing. Bruce Sutter, there he is. Where is he? There he is. Alright, Sutter can go 9, so there it is. Let me quickly look, and who else did I have? Yeah. Alright, so let's do it. It's Bruce Sutter facing Brian Giles. And then it's Okendo. Alright, here's a pitch. That's PD. That doesn't count. It's a 5. That's off Sutter. It's an 11. And Sutter's a righty versus a righty. That's going to be a strikeout. So Sutter strikes out Lati. And Sutter strikes out Giles. Next up is Okendo. I'll let Okendo swing away. That's a Z. I don't use that. It's like unusual plays and stuff. It's off Sutter. 42 will be a wild pitch. We do it again. A 6. That's off Sutter again. And a 13. That's going to be a base hit. Righty on righty, but that is a base hit for Okendo. So he slaps one for a hit, and he's on at first. And he's got good speed. That's a tying run. He's a B base runner, so we're going to get Rusty Staub. He's going to come and hit here, pinch hit. And there's Rusty coming to hit for Seaver. So that's one loss by Sutter, and that was a hit. Who was that hit off of? It was off the pitcher. Okay, so here goes Rusty Staub. Here's a pitch. That's a 9. That's going to be off Staub, and a 45 will be an out LN. Oh boy, that's a grounder to short, fielded by Ozzie Smith. Runner advances to second. So tying run is in scoring position for Bob Baylor. Let's see what we got on the bench here. For the Mets, we've got, oh, you know what? We're going to bring in Mcgee. Going to bring in Mcgee to hit for Bob Baylor. So Mcgee will bat from the left side. There he is, Mookie Wilson. Here's the pitch from Sutter. That's an 8. That's going to be off Wilson. And a 54 will be an SN. And it's bounced to third. Fielded cleanly by Oberkfell. And the ball game is over. The Mets lose it. Seaver is going to take the loss here. Yikes. So it's going to be Staub that comes in. Let me see. Hold on. Let me set this up. So Giles made an out. He struck out against Sutter. And then it was Okendo who singled. Staub came in to pinch hit for Seaver.